Lot going on here at the club.
About possibility of generational wealth and for your kids, grandkids, and their
And it's exciting because it gives us some financial hope.
Good morning. It's a beautiful Thursday here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Janet Gatewood.
Good morning, guys. Todd Gatewood here with you. Looking forward to another great round of conversation.
We are God, Freedom, and Bitcoin, and we are the podcast that you never know when we're going to be on because we never know because our schedules are crazy, but we are so glad to be back. It's been, I guess, a couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Oh, at least. We're the most inconsistent podcast in news. So welcome, guys. Thanks for being patient with us.
Just like you don't know what the price of Bitcoin is going to be each day, we never know when we're going to be on the air. Let's talk about that because honestly, so in the last week, we've hit a new all-time high.
Yeah, we went to 126 and some change. Went back down to 121, bounced around 123, 24, 25. So it's just... every day is a different day. Every day is changing, but it's pretty much staying consistent. So as long as you're not having major price falls, it's a pretty good situation. You know, it's setting new resistances every day.
Yeah. So last week, as we talk about this, I work late all the time and I fall asleep on my laptop all the time. And one night last week, I woke up around 2 a.m. and Bitcoin had started just taking off. And then I couldn't go to sleep because it kept going up and up. It's really exciting because when we started in this space, I think it was around 69,000. That was before it took its dive back down, right?
Yeah, it was. And then it kept going down in the 30s, 20s. I think it got down to 15 back in 2022 or 23, something like that, whatever it was. But yeah, it was going down. And it's like, everybody's like, it's done. It's never coming back. And next thing you know, here we are, all-time highs at 126. And, you know, and it might go down again, but I don't ever think it will go down to the lows that we were at one time, for sure.
Yeah. The thing about Bitcoin, doesn't matter what price it is. You just want more of it. That's our opinion. And we're not financial advisors. But I mean, you're going to wish you could buy Bitcoin at 126,000 a coin one day. You just will. And even if you buy it at that, we teach people have a stomach for it. It's okay if the price goes down. Just get more of it and hold it because you're not getting Bitcoin to turn around and sell it. Now, some people try to make a quick profit. Those that do that, they don't understand Bitcoin.
No, they don't. And that's the thing about it, too. I mean, you can always tell when the price of Bitcoin is hitting new all-time highs because our foot traffic in our club here increases, and it has this week. We've been busy, and a lot of that's because of the price. Anytime you have price increases like that, people start getting interested and everything, and it's just human nature. It's funny because it's like, you know, when it's low or what we consider to be low, they don't talk about it. That's just positive and setting it. Or then when it starts hitting all-time highs and starts hitting the news cycles, that's when people start rushing in. And like, am I too late? I was like, well, you could have got it for a lot cheaper, but you're still not too late. You're talking about generational, that it's going to go into the millions, you know, probably over the next 2 decades or more. So,
yeah, I think I saw a report yesterday on X that was predicted it'll hit $1 billion by 2038, $1 billion. And then I saw another, there are all these predictions, right? $1 million by 2028. If it hits 250,000 by then, like the thing is it is the number one appreciating asset in all of history. It's amazing. So just get some and hold on to it. So we had one of my friends come in the club this week and we sat down with her and we stayed a couple hours late. I had given her $5 of Bitcoin in March of 24. And just said, I got her started, but she never bought any more. And so she opened her wallet, and that $5 was $12. If she put 5,000 in, she'd have 12,000. Like, that's in a year and a half. And you can look at the cycles and look at different things. But at the end of the day, she's sitting there wishing she bought Bitcoin. And so when you're listening to this, if you're new, buy some is our recommendation. You can get it on Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. We like the Fold card. There's a link under this to the Fold card, but better yet, we're here at the Bitcoin and Crypto Club in Nashville. We have some special offerings for Bitcoin, don't we, Todd?
We sure do. And you'll have to remind me what they are because I forgot.
He hasn't.
They put me on the spot, guys.
He doesn't like to be put on the spot.
I don't like to be put on the spot.
No. So there's so many ways to get Bitcoin, right? I mean, come into one of our clubs. Let me just tell about that real quick. So the thing is that we're here because we believe in it. And so we're part of the Bitcoin Bin team that is trying to spread mass adoption and reach the everyday person, because we're not here for the person that has all the money in the world and they're retired. We are here for them. The person that works these long hours that can't see straight, the everyday person that's buried, they need to hear about Bitcoin. Everybody needs to hear about it. That's why we're open on Saturdays too. And that's why we're here where they can physically come in, because we hear a lot about people are worried about scams and things like that. But what we do is we teach you what it is, how to buy it, how to hold it. But we have programs for our club members. So if you join one of our clubs, we're in Sarasota, Nashville, outside of Boston, Las Vegas, Plano, Texas, outside of Dallas, soon to be St. Louis, and West Palm Beach, Florida. Thank you very much. That one's coming soon, 1.5 miles from Mar-a-Lago. But our club members, we have bulk purchase program, confidential bulk purchase programs. We have Bitcoin mining. But what is coming? The first in the entire world. Look at me talking with my hands.
You're getting excited.
The first in the entire world. What's coming?
Bitcoin hybrid credit union. That's huge, guys. That's huge. And we are going to be, we're neck and neck with someone else in El Salvador, apparently. But if we have anything to do it, we're going to be number one, because we play for keeps. We don't play for second, because second is first loser. Anybody knows any NASCAR? That's what Dale Earnhardt always said. So just for anybody that's into NASCAR,
hey,
we're first. We're going to be first.
Jay's a winner. We're going to be first.
We're going to be first.
So if you listen to the show this morning, if you know anything about what we do, Dr. Jay Bose does a show on Thursday mornings. And if you didn't hear his show this morning, go back and listen. Because guys, Private Key Capital, and you can go to bitcoinbin.io right now, or privatekeycapital.io, and see just the coming soon page. But it is going to will be the very first credit union ever where we hold Bitcoin. We have Bitcoin as strategic reserve. This credit union is going to be incredible. You can hold your Bitcoin and earn 4% on it. You can lock it into different products that they're going to offer. So Jay literally said, don't go to sleep, don't leave, code all night. He has lived at the office. We have coders. How many do you have? 8 to 10?
8 to 10 coders. We have 8 to 10 coders working on the wallets right now. And this is a crack team that he's got assembled, and they know their stuff. They're good at what they're doing, and they've been working around the clock. So we've got the best of the best. And we expect very soon to have this credit union up and running for deposits and stuff like that. So we're looking forward to the opportunities that's going to afford us.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it might even be next week. I mean, we're looking
that would be even better.
A soft opening. So this was really special. Bitcoin Day was in Washington, D.C. at the Kennedy Center.
Shout out to our guys at Bitcoin Day. Those guys are phenomenal.
Good guys. So totally.
John and Jack, we love you. And we sponsored them before down in Naples. And Jay was up there at this event, and he met the ambassador from El Salvador to the U.S. And she was just lovely, articulate, professional, sharp. And when he told her about what we're doing, she got up on the stage, and because she was going to announce that there's one that might be here by the end of 25, but she was able to say, we're going to have 2 in El Salvador, the first ever Bitcoin-backed credit unions in 2025. So Private Key Capital is about to make history.
And that's when you can really say what's in your wallet. And we can literally say Bitcoin.
So it's super exciting. So if you're listening and you've got your Bitcoin, you've had it, think about what the price was when you first got it. Think about the people in your world, because when we sat down this week with my friend, before she came in, her father-in-law came in, and then he brought his grandson. So we had 3 generations in a family trying to get their head around it. But the dad, the father-in-law, 86 years old, he gets it. 86. So I'm telling you, we have so many club members that are well over 50, and they get it because they see their money losing value. So if you're sitting here listening and your money's sitting in a regular, traditional, a TradFi bank account, it's losing value. It's lost at least 10%, if not like 14% already this year, right?
Yeah. And the thing about it, guys, 1 to 2% interest on what you have is highway robbery when they're making more and they can just print it out thin air. And that's what I always say is like, look, guys, and I've got plenty of banker friends, and I don't mean this to be a slight to them whatsoever, but what are they providing to you that's actually bringing you value for you and your family? What's helping you to stay ahead of inflation that comes from a bank? And the answer is absolutely nothing. And that's the problem with it. It's not that they're bad people. It's just they work in a bad system. So, and I was talking to a young man yesterday about this, and he was in the banking system as well. And he understands that, of course, the regulations keep them from being involved with it. But, that's what we're here for. And it's going to get to the point where they're going to have to be in it, or they're going to have to close their doors. So it's a matter of time. They will be dealing with Bitcoin as well. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. It's so interesting in the news because we've been unbanked. We've had club members unbanked. And what that means is we've gone in and we wanted to do something in Bitcoins in the name of crypto. And the bank's like, oh, no. And so they act like they have to protect us from ourselves, and they won't let you have access to your money. And so we've had a lot of people unbanked. So when I see in the news the banks getting involved and all the people like Jamie Dimon and all these people that have dogged Bitcoin, and now you see them stacking, you see them adopting it. It's just, here we are. It's sort of like when they say conspiracy theories and then they actually are true. They're not a conspiracy.
Well,
it's the same thing, right?
Diamond's been in it for years, and that's the funny part about it. It's such a kind game these guys play, and it's the same old, same old. They've played it for generations, and it's the boogeyman behind the door and everything. It's it's the eyes, it's the great eyes. Wizard of Oz, the guy behind the screen and stuff, pulling all the levers and stuff. Ooh, scary and all this jazz, and it's like they're playing a sick little game and keeping their thumb down on everyday people, disallowing them the ability to protect their families and build wealth for their families and stuff. Meantime, they control everything. They get all the money and they let you, work like a peon. I mean, it's ridiculous having to watch these guys. And now they're a little bit behind the 8 ball, having to watch everybody in this space front run them. And for me, it's glorious. I love seeing it because it's like finally, it's basically the people rising up against the machine.
Well, get this. I mean, with private key capital or in credit union, you're not going to get unbanked. And guess what? You're going to have Bitcoin-backed loans. Never again do you just do a traditional mortgage if you have Bitcoin and you don't sell it. We do have right now partners that will let you do Bitcoin-backed loans to buy Bitcoin, but we're going to be able to do Bitcoin-backed loans for mortgages through our bank. That's going to be amazing. And another thing I really love is our home to hodl program. If you have home equity, we have partners that'll help tap that so that you can buy Bitcoin with it. Because right now you just want to stack. And even the banks right now. So this personal information, but I went to the bank this week to put in a check. We have a home equity line of credit, and I went in to put a check for something in there, and they wouldn't even, they were questioning it. You'd usually do this. I'm like, just do this all the time. This is my money. This is my equity, my home, and literally had to have a bank manager approve depositing that check and not hold it for 2 weeks. It's so frustrating. It's our money. We're doing nothing wrong. But what's happening is regulations are getting tighter and tighter and tighter, because when you're in these businesses, we're all moving stuff around all the time, trying to be strategic, how to acquire more Bitcoin, how to get everything in place. And when you have banks going, oh, you can't do that, we need to give you permission with your funds. It's ridiculous. So I'm grateful we've got one coming.
Yeah, because, Jay was talking about that very thing. He was talking about how when you go to the bank and stuff, you have to get it, if you go to a teller, you have to get it verified from the bank president, depending on what you're doing and everything like that. And it's like the very same scenario. It's like, he said, with our credit union, we don't have to do that. It's conducted between you and the person there, and that's it. No third-party verification. Third party, all that is a middleman. A middleman is an overpaid lackey. That's basically what that is.
It's control.
Yes.
That's what it is. I mean, the beauty of Bitcoin is it's decentralized. So there's so much going on right now in politics and regulations, and we want the regulations to be better for crypto. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter who's president. It doesn't matter what they do. It's decentralized. As much as they want to control it, they can't. It's like the little people finally get to have a say in their life and in their financial future. Before, when they created the Fed, which was criminal in my opinion, and a cartel in 1913, and what do we say? We've lost like 90% of our dollars buying power since then. And when they created that, it was to centralize control and to hurt the everyday person. And farms have been put out of business. I mean, there's so many ways they've been crushing us that we are fighting back, and it's exciting.
Well, it is exciting. That's the thing about it, guys, is like, if we don't take up this fight, and I'm not talking from a kinetic or a hand-to-hand or anything like that, I'm talking about from a financial standpoint, self-sovereignty, it's freedom at its best, and you're taking control of your own assets and stuff, and you're not allowing some person to tell you, hey, if you come to the bank and I needed to get a loan, or if I need to withdraw some money, well, we need to question you about that. No, you really don't need to question it, because it's not your money. And in the meantime, you can just hit a button and print it incessantly. And, like if you give you an example. So you go to any major city. We're here in Brentwood, Nashville, Tennessee area. You go to every single street corner, and it's like Walgreens, except banks. Every bank owns every piece of property in prime locations. And I guarantee you're talking about million plus properties that they're putting these banks on. So guess where they get that money from, guys? They get that money from you. They not only get it from you, they can also hit a button and have a central bank print it for them so they can buy property up. So they're basically like McDonald's, except in a bank form, because McDonald's basically all it is. They're property owners because the food's terrible, but they're just buying up property. So I mean that's essentially what banks are, because I see banks are starting to go out left and right now, but they still own the property, so they still have an asset that they own, even though they don't have an operating bank there.
What's interesting, Todd, is what you're talking about. We weren't really taught finance in school.
No,
we just weren't. We were taught memorization and no analytical skills, and we're not taught finance. And that's the most exciting thing for me in this space is I've been awakened to what's really going on. And banks do well when they have debt. They want us in debt because we become their asset. And that's why they want to keep you in loans, keep you in mortgages. They don't want you to pay your credit cards off. They don't want you to pay off your house. They want you in debt forever and ever and ever, because that makes them more wealth, and they can also loan out. It makes their books better. It's all about money, right? Follow the money.
Yeah, it's always follow the money. And that's the thing, guys. It's like when you're watching this system and everything, it's rigged against you. There's no, like I said, I'm not here to chastise or talk about anybody in particular, but it really is a system which is rigged against the people. And your work, your proof of work, your effort you put in to buy groceries, keep a roof over your head, pay your bills, do what's right, and it's being sucked dry by people who don't care about you. You're a number. And the thing about it, if you have a bank account, if you don't have enough zeros in front of your name, you don't get the customer service, the ones that have like 5, 6, 7, 8 or more zeros in front of their name. You're just collateral to them. That really doesn't matter. And that's why with our private key capital, credit union, you do make a difference. And you're going to make the difference, and you're going to be the reason why we become a success, because we're out for the people. We're not for ourselves.
Yeah. I know it's like we want to get really fussy, and then we're so excited because we finally have, as I've talked before, financial hope. We have a way, we think, that we can own our future and retire, right? Because we're all in this cycle, and they're wanting to push the age of retirement. But I don't see us retiring, because we're always going to want to be doing things and helping people and creating. And this space requires all of us. If you're listening and you've had Bitcoin for a long time, do the people that you love in your life, do they have it? Do they listen to you? Do they know what it is? Have you given them Bitcoin and they've sold it? We hear a lot of people give Bitcoin for Christmas and they sell it. One of the neat things that Private Key Capital will have that I love, because people are always worried about custodying their Bitcoin and passing it on to their heirs. We're going to have an ability to have multiple wallets with your account. So if you have 15 grandkids, you can have 15 wallets, and they'll all be multi-sig. And if, they could all be released if something happens to each of the wallet owners, but you can hold it there and it can grow. So you're not giving it to them where they can necessarily sell it right now. And the neat thing too are smart contracts. So we can start programming smart contracts to release a certain amount or however we want it to be. The future is wide open. All that to say is we're at the very beginning. I mean, Jay has people coding to create this. We are creating something that has never been done. That's amazing. When the internet started, never been done, and people discounted it. And so that's what we're doing right here. We're creating something to our team has never been done.
Well, we really are. And the fun part about it, guys, is when you're building new horizons for the future, it's just every day is different, and it keeps us young, honestly, and it's fun being a part of this space. We've had so many people coming in asking questions, asking about our programs. We've got many programs, Beef and Bitcoin. We've got Home to Hodl. We've got what else is it? The private key bank. What else? Or private key capital. And we also have what else is it? We've got 4 of them, I think. 4 or 5.
We have Home to Hodl.
Home to Hodl.
We have a confidential bulk purchase.
That's
we have
it.
Loans for
We
Bitcoin.
changed that. Yeah, we changed that.
We have a
So
lot.
we do.
I'm going to read a couple things because, so I love X. We talk about that a lot, and it's
Oh, yeah.
uncensored. And I bookmark things a lot because I'm like, that's so true. This morning, I bookmarked this. A post was from a Cole Walmsley, and he said, why do financial advisors hate Bitcoin? Because if Bitcoin is legit, they're out of a job.
Yep.
Anyone can save in Bitcoin and outperform any advisor. They're incentivized to disagree with it. It's that simple. And we've seen that in our own life. We've seen financial advisors we've had tell us it's a scam, they've really just not been supportive whatsoever of what we're doing. And that's okay. We're okay. We're glad where we are. Here's another one. Dennis Porter. We love Dennis. Dennis Porter posted 15 hours ago. New academic research. There's a 75% chance Bitcoin goes over 1.15 million by 2028. Bullish. I think that's totally right. And okay, here's another really funny one. I just love these. Caitlin Long posted, and we have Caitlin Long. This is spot on. Gen X in a nutshell. Okay, this is us.
That's us.
We're 45 to 60. We still don't trust authority. We never will ask for help. We still know every word to a song we haven't heard since 1987. We have bad backs, good instincts, and zero tolerance for BS.
Oh, you know what? That sums us up big time, because it's like we're the don't give a crap generation. And don't tell us how we're going to do anything. So that's literally who we are. So yeah, we're authority buckers, and we always will be. And anybody in this space, and we are that type of mentality. And that's not a bad mentality to have, guys, because look, if you don't stand up for yourself, if you're expecting some authority figure, some politician, or anybody else to stand up for you, you're in for a rude awakening. These people don't care. They're only concerned for themselves. Period.
Absolutely. Listen to this one. Bitcoin is up 22,000% since Dave Ramsey said that Bitcoin's a really good way to turn $1 million.
Thanks, Dave.
Since Dave said it's a really good way to turn $1 million into nothing. When Dave Ramsey said that, the price of Bitcoin was $549. It's up 22,000%. Oh my gosh.
As a fellow Tennessean, I know it's hard for you to swallow your pride and admit you were wrong, Dave, but unfortunately, my friend, you're wrong. Now, you've made a multi-million-dollar conglomerate business off what you've sold, but you know what? It's time for a change. It's another industrial revolution. I mean, if you go back and look at it, it really is what it is. So, but from one Tennessean to the next, give it up, buddy. You've lost. Yeah.
It's, I know he helped a lot of people get out of debt. I know my family specifically, I never did the Dave Ramsey method. I have people I've known my whole life that work with him. But I think at the end of the day, it's just we've immersed ourselves in so much for 3 years learning. So if you're new to this, we just encourage you, learn. Like join our clubs. We have over 100 classes we've taught on Bitcoin, cryptos, wallets. There's always something else. But what I think is the most important is when we're around other people, other Bitcoiners, other crypto enthusiasts, we learn something. Every time I'm around them, I'm learning maybe a strategy they use. There may be a question they ask, and we start to explore it because it is a whole new space. And there's a lot of technical stuff. And that's where when you have a group to help you. So we do a lot of meetups. Like if you're in the Sarasota area, there's one tonight at 6 at our club there. And then we do like our new members, we have new member orientation. So you join the club. We introduce a lot on those Saturday mornings or Sunday nights, and those are on Zoom. But there's just, it's exciting, but you just need to start learning. And even if you don't understand all the words, we were going to bring this in today and I couldn't find it, but I did this notebook when we first found out about Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah. When we first got into the space, late 2021, early 2022, we actually went down to one of Ben's events over in Dallas, Fort Worth. And Janet being the astute note taker that she was, had a whole notebook she wrote during the whole weekend. It was a 3-day event, and it changed our lives literally forever, thanks to Ben. And she wrote in this notebook and blew through a pen in a whole notebook and had to go to another pen and get some more paper and write down all the terminology and different things and things that Ben was going to be doing. Everything coming to fruition as we're speaking and growing, with the team as we're building out. So just absolutely amazing. And we will have a podcast on the notebook, and you're going to see how thick this thing is. She threw away the pen. We should have left it. We should have kept it for posterity's sake. But you know what? That's okay. We still have the notebook, fortunately, because it's got a lot of different things we can look back on history-wise for the group. So pretty cool.
Well, and what that represents is we changed our lives. When we discovered what Bitcoin was, we did a 180 because it changes everything. When you really realize what it is, it changes how you're planning for the future. It changes where you put your in attention. Like, we're on our phones all the time trying to read about it. And we know a lot about it now. We don't have to necessarily read all those early things anymore, but we just could not stop consuming. And it's important. Listen to this. Like, Bitcoin has 32 halvings so far. And what is a halving? Is when Bitcoin is mined. It's an algorithm. That's how Bitcoin is created. It's a math problem. And when it's solved, it creates a block. And there's a block reward, which rewards Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin was designed in the code. Every 4 years, when they create that block, half as much Bitcoin is awarded to the computer that solved that algorithm. So, and you don't have to understand all that, but what it is it halves every 4 years. We've only seen 4 of the 32 halvings, and Bitcoin's already gone, it's 120, almost 121,000 as we sit here. So, I mean, Bitcoin will keep being halved all the way up to 2132, I think, is the year. And unless 2136. So unless technology changes, we won't be around.
No.
But our kids will. I mean, our generations will. And what that means is we're still super early. And that's also where mining, like we have mining with our clubs, being in a mining pool right now is even more advantageous, because the sooner you can get into that stuff while we're still having, because the block reward right now is 3.125 Bitcoin. It used to be 6, and the next time it'll go down to 1.5. So when you think about it, it's 21 million Bitcoin, 19.9 million have been mined. We have 3 million lost.
Yes.
And I think I saw
Satoshi owns a lot of them, which you'll never see those get released. So that's going to be held in perpetuity. You're never going to see those.
I think I saw yesterday where BlackRock has like 800,000 when you look at all of their combined ETFs, because of where they own half the world anyway, right?
Oh, I'd say all of it.
So, I mean, it's not even every millionaire will have just one Bitcoin. And everything I read says get at least 0.1. And that's about $12,000 worth of Bitcoin at today's prices.
So basically what you have here is you have BlackRock and Michael Saylor in a race to see who's top dog. Because that's basically, and I think Jack Mallers said he wanted some of that, but I don't think Jack's got enough cash in his pocket to be able to keep up with those two. He might be a distant third, but that's going to be interesting to watch. Is those two? It's almost like the space race, except it's the digital race for the digital gold, and you've got Saylor versus BlackRock. So one man against the global. Goliath, I guess, basically. So you got David against Goliath, basically, and I'm hoping that David wins.
Yeah, listen to this. Okay, so people will say, like in futures, that you're lucky if you have one Bitcoin. And by the way, don't tell anybody how much Bitcoin you have ever. But this post is so interesting. It's from the Bitcoin Dad. It says how to get lucky in Bitcoin. Do 100 hours of research. Discover what inflation is and act, which is what we did. Take a leap of faith, buy $100 in Bitcoin, lose 50% plus, learn to hodl, which is hold on for dear life, return to break even, hodl, buy more despite the risk, watch 10 hours of YouTube videos on how to move your private keys off an exchange. Better yet, just join one of our clubs, will help you. Don't lose your seed phrase, reject the hundreds of crypto scams, do nothing besides buy for 5 years. With enough time, anyone can be lucky in Bitcoin. It isn't luck. It is being intentional and studying and taking that chance, even when your whole world is saying it's a scam, because that's what happened to us. Everyone tells you it's a scam. And we couldn't even get our building here without me putting my real estate office in it because they were afraid of it. Now that's changed a lot in 2 years' time, but it's really just go ahead and buy some. And probably a lot of you listening have it and are so excited. And so it does take patience because sometimes you buy it and it'll go down and come back up and you have to have a stomach for it. But what's really exciting is thinking about building businesses in the Bitcoin space, having private key capital where we're going to be able to earn Bitcoin on the Bitcoin, because once you have it, you don't want to let it go. You still want to grow it. How do you get more Bitcoin? You know, using like the Fold card where you can earn it, paying your mortgage, paying your car note, whatever. The private key capital, we're going to have a lot of vehicles to grow your Bitcoin with Bitcoin. And that's really what, to me, that next step is going to be for all of us is get it, hold it, grow it. I'm still trying to make fiat so I can buy more Bitcoin with the fiat and pay our bills with that and not touch the Bitcoin. It's really exciting time.
Well, it really is. And the thing about it with our credit union, guys, it has all the same traditional banking services that you get now at your regular bank. So it's not something, it's a hybrid, but it's also has the same traditional things that you're used to as far as all your banking goes. We've got licensing that's worldwide. So it crosses borders, crosses countries, crosses oceans. So that's going to be huge for each and every one of our members. So we're going to be able to support the first world, third world, and all the in between. So that's the best part about it is we're actually going to be able to help the average everyday citizen make their life a lot better through our systems.
Yeah. Listen to this. I need to research this. Just did $7 billion real estate company Open Door, which I'm not a fan of Open Door as a realtor. I'll explain why later. But they just said they're going to start accepting Bitcoin for homes. Bitcoin becoming money. It's coming. Now I need to look into that. Are they going to accept it where you don't have to sell it to buy the home?
I got it.
Like that's what, I mean, I've had people offer Bitcoin, but then it has to be sold. It has to be settled. We need peer-to-peer to buy houses, and we'll be able to do that. It's coming. But I mean, Open Door, that's just not been a fun company to work with.
Of course they will accept it. I mean, yeah, they'll take it all day long because look, that $500 million home is going to end up being $10 million if you pay in Bitcoin. I mean, you think about that. I mean, if they're taking an asset at that price, guess what? If they hold it, I mean, astronomically going to be beneficial to whatever company is accepting it if they hold on to it.
Well, you know how early it is when, Bitcoin Den was up in Massachusetts with Ed Albert up there at they had the Johnny Appleseed Festival.
Yes.
And they offered $500 in cash or $250 in Bitcoin. And most people wanted the cash.
Yeah.
The only reason if I did the cash, it would be to turn around and buy $500 worth of Bitcoin. But it just shows they don't understand what the difference in the asset. So that's really interesting. Here's another one. Fidelity, this is where it came from. Fidelity predicted that one Bitcoin will be worth $1 billion by 2038. Fidelity predicted that.
Well, I hope that's true. Lord willing, we'll still be around by then. There's going to be a lot of happy people even if they have a quarter of a Bitcoin at that price. I mean, you think about that. We've heard 0.001 is all you need, supposedly. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I can't verify something like that, but it sounds good in theory, which you said, I think yesterday was worth about 12 grand.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and that's the thing, guys, you can dollar cost average into all this stuff. So if you want to spend $10 a week, if you're not quite sure, it's like, well, I'm not sure I really want to do that or can trust it. Get off zero. It's what I always say is just get off zero, start, just check it out, keep doing what you're doing. If it's not for you, just leave it in your wallet and see where it's at in 5-10 years. Pretty simple.
I'm going to beat up on Dave Ramsey again.
Sorry, Dave.
No, I'm just looking at this interview. I'm going through X on the bookmarks because it's just fascinating to watch all the conversation back and forth across all parties. And so on this interview, he said, "And how much do you have in checking?" The person said $14. He said, "In savings?" She said, "None." He said, "Retirement account?" She said, "Bitcoin." He said, "Bitcoin isn't a retirement account." She said, "Neither is the dollar." I beg to differ.
Well, how did he handle that? I mean, he should have been silent and really starting to think, maybe I'm doing it wrong. I mean, look, Dave, you could get off zero too, man. I mean, you're a multimillionaire. You could put at least $50 in if you wanted to, just to play with it some,
Well, I mean, I see it as the retirement, not even the retirement, the generational wealth you don't touch. It's everything. You think about all of these schools and universities, and they have their endowment. Bitcoin's our endowment, but we don't touch it.
Well, fiat rich, Bitcoin stupid, or Bitcoin poor. You know, that's, I mean, for me, I don't understand the fear with it. I guess I do to an extent. I can see some reasons on a religious standpoint where some people might feel that, but I don't see it. I don't see what it would harm to at least get into it and see if there's something to it. You know, look, here's the deal. I like gold, silver, and I'll be honest with you, if we could go back to an actual US dollar that's not backed by the Federal Reserve, which is a complete Ponzi scheme, and there's nothing federal about it, and they have no reserves. You know, it's a thing. It's a big corporation, guys. For those of you who don't know, just because it says Federal Reserve note, that's to lure you into thinking that they're legit. They're not. So surprise there. If we, you know, and that's Kennedy tried to put us on an actual silver dollar. You know, he tried to take a dollar and back it by silver back in the 1960s. And then, you know, unfortunately, he was something happened. So, but that's a little history lesson for anybody. If it's Federal Reserve note and it's not an actual U.S. dollar, it's a Ponzi scheme.
Okay, so this is interesting. You mentioned Kennedy. I'm going to try to keep names out of this.
Yeah.
So we had someone walk into our club who had a relative who's deceased who was in that limousine.
He was the driver.
I wasn't going to say that, but it was the driver. I don't want to say his name. I wanted to protect him, but there were a lot of people have thought it was the driver that did it. And I think it was on his deathbed because they were never allowed to say anything but 2 shooters from the driver to his ancestor, 2 shooters in the Kennedy car.
Yeah, we usually don't get into conspiracy theory stuff, guys, but you know, there's some very interesting things that would be worth looking into if you're interested in that stuff. So
it walked into our club, though.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, somebody walked into our club that talked to a person that was in the limousine with President Kennedy when he was shot.
Pretty crazy.
How often does that happen? Are you kidding?
Like never. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is history that we're being told, and I'm like, this is insane. But I'll be honest with you, ever since we've hopped in this space, we've had the opportunity to really talk with some unique and fun and really history-loving people. And some of the stuff we've heard is like absolutely mind-blowing. And I love history anyway, so when I hear stuff like that, I kind of geek out on it a little bit. So when he was telling us this, I was like, you're kidding me. And I was just like, you know, a look of like shock. I literally was like in pure shock when I was listening to this stuff.
So a lot of things happen on people's deathbeds. I'm going to take a tangent. So this was 30 years ago. A friend of mine, his dad had worked at Area 51. I've never even told you this.
Oh, this is interesting.
On his deathbed, he never said a word. He said, I saw the graves. They're real. On his deathbed. I've never told you that. So I'm telling you, there's a lot of weird stuff out there that we don't know.
Hey, how about we take a trip out to Area 51 when we go to Bitcoin 2026? Let's just hit the desert and see what's out there. I just want to take
Well, they don't let you in.
Well, I know, but it'd just be kind of fun to just take a picture and say I was here, you know, that kind of crazy stuff.
You know, we stopped.
Or I could go up to the gate and say, hey, y'all got any aliens up here? You know, kind of just
say it just as Southern, like you just said it.
Hey, y'all got any aliens up here?
I'm sure they'll
laugh. And say,
where's that
sir,
place?
leave.
We stopped at that place called something's where we found all the alien stuff on the way on the route back from Vegas.
Oh, that place in New Mexico. What was the name of that?
Anyway.
Yeah, it was a cool place though. It was okay. So it was kind of like the Buc-ee's of that time. I think it's like out in the middle of a desert in New Mexico, and this place was started in like the 1930s or whatever, and it was hilarious. It was like Buc-ee's, but not quite the size.
We brought Steve back an alien cup that had a cup with a green alien head on it, and I got my girls some alien mac. It was fun. It was fun. But all that to say is like our media. I mean, we've just been fed so much, and there's so much propaganda. Like it's like what is true? Like it kind of makes you crazy when you get in this space because the stuff you thought to be true for so long, and then it's not, and then you see how much propaganda is in the mainstream, and now we're on X and it's not censored, and you start realizing that everything you've been taught, you kind of flip it. It sort of makes you crazy because then you start second guessing everything. And so one of the We just lost our internet. Oh my, where did it go? Okay, we're back. I think we're back.
Are we back?
I think we're back. What the heck? Okay, so we probably need to wrap up anyway. But here's another interesting take on Bitcoin. That's Simply Bitcoin, and we love working with Simply Bitcoin and Nico. They posted this called it the power of diamond hands, and it shows you. And this is in 9 years' time. If you wanted to buy a house 9 years ago with Bitcoin, it would take an average price house 680 Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
If you bought one today, 3.5 Bitcoin. So when you think about buying as much as you can and stacking, as the dollar loses value, your Bitcoin will buy so much more. And that's what inflation looks like. So the house didn't really go up that much in value. It's just the dollar's buying power was reduced. That's inflation. Life gets cheaper on the Bitcoin standard. So, join our clubs, grow your Bitcoin, watch for Private Key Capital coming here in the next month out of El Salvador. But we will have our headquarters will be in West Palm Beach, Florida, here in the U.S. With CEO Dr. Jay Bowes.
Yeah, that's actually going to be our U.S. base for Private Key Capital, which I can't think of a better place. Janet and I had the privilege to go down there and run around and try to find some places for that. And it's about a mile, like you said, about a mile and a half away from Mar-a-Lago. And it's an old bank, which is ironic considering we're starting a new banking system with Bitcoin. So we're excited about the possibilities. Can't wait to go down there for the grand opening. We will be there. And looking forward to the opportunities that we have in the future and providing for our future, guests.
Let's talk about a couple more historical things before we sign off today. Yes. The SEC has now said that 401k providers can include Bitcoin and crypto. That's huge. It's paper Bitcoin. It's not self-custody, but that is huge. No,
and I understand it because you're always going to have people that, and quite frankly, there's some people that probably don't need to self-custody because they're not going to be able to do it and risk not losing it and stuff. So it's actually not a bad thing, but it's not a great thing. I always lean back to doing self-custody always, but for like older generations or people who just aren't as, and you don't have to be real tech savvy, and that's part of the clubs too, is we're here to help train, help people figure that out. So you don't have to rely on a third party and someone taking part of your proceeds, because really and truly, when you involve people who are in that industry, and they're not bad people either, but they do take a huge portion of your profit and put in their coffers. So it's you have to determine, are you willing to handle letting someone do that? How much do you want to keep your money as opposed to giving part of it away so someone can advise you, basically?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that's exciting because it will raise the price of Bitcoin. And even though it is paper Bitcoin, it does let people get into it. And that's where a lot of people think that our Bitcoin's been in a 4-year cycle. Steve says, every time they don't think the next one will be the same 4-year cycle, but this really is different.
I think so.
Seeing all of this mass adoption, but listen to this. So the Bitcoin market cap right now is about 2.4 trillion. The entire crypto market cap right now is about 4.2 trillion. Any currency that's crossed 2 trillion has never gone back down to zero. So this is not going away, guys. But listen to this. Bitcoin has now passed Amazon in its market cap, and it's coming for silver. Now, we know silver's going up. It was about $48 an ounce yesterday. Yep. But, it's coming, and it will bypass all of it. I think 2 years ago when I looked at this, I was listening to, it was Greg Foss. He's out of, I believe, New York.
Or Canada.
Canada. And it was fascinating. It was a Spaces on X. I didn't know who he was. And oh my goodness. And he was talking about when he advises people, he was a financial advisor. He's like, if you just put 5%, I hope I'm saying this right. If you just put 5% in your portfolio, eventually over time, it will become the biggest percentage of your portfolio. If you put 5% in Bitcoin. And that's the thing is, do it and hold it for 4 years. Have a stomach. If it changes, don't sell when it's going down. The whole point is to get it and hold it. If it goes down, buy more. We call that buying the dip. So there's so many changes coming. History's being made. We've had the all-time high. SEC's approving it for 401ks. It's bypassed Amazon. Honestly, there's been so much history in the last 2 weeks. I've been super busy to even follow all of the news. The thing is, no matter what the news says, whether I hear it or not, I know I want to get as much Bitcoin as I can. We want to stack it and we want to tell people about it.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. That's why we're here, guys, is to help people understand it, store it safely, have a community. We're here for community. And each of our meetups, we're meeting new people coming into the space, people excited to be here, wanting to learn and want to help as much as they possibly can. We have members that want to help us grow this. They see value in it. We see value in it. And that's why we're here, is to help you to understand and help to make us a better place, to make us a better country and a better world.
So we're going to wrap up here. And by the way, we actually are going to be hiring. We're looking at 2 or 3 different positions here. So if you are an expert in crypto, reach out to us at info@bitcoinbendcryptoclubnashville.com. I would like to have a conversation with you if you'd be interested in possibly being one of our consultants. I'm also looking for some marketing assistance. So if that's your cup of tea, reach out to us and we'll talk with you. But go to bitcoinbend.io for more information on all of our clubs, all of our programs, private key capital, connect to media. We're here to teach and to learn and to spread the word. In fact, Todd and I, we even invited, this is full circle.
Yes.
My daughters, I homeschooled them for a season. I wasn't that good at it. So I put them in a college prep tutorial here in Nashville called Ironwood Academy. And it was excellent. And they literally, the director emailed our club, didn't realize it was me, and asked us to come and teach a class on digital assets to their 11th graders.
Yeah, and that's the fun part. When you start getting those calls and people's like, hey, would you mind coming talking to my students, or, retirement group? I've got some people who are interested in this and we were looking you up and saw you. Would you mind? And absolutely, guys. And that's the thing. If you have a group in the Nashville, Brentwood area and you want us to come speak, by all means, like Janet said, reach out to us, email us. We'll be more than happy to come out and put you on our schedule and help people to understand and, help them to want to, learn and be a part of this space and everything, but and even have club memberships too, because you really do gain a lot with our meetups and everything else by being in this space. So yeah, absolutely. Reach out to us anytime. And we'd love to have you as a member, or at least as, for speaking engagements. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we have a few things coming up. Women Connect is on October 17th. If you want to be a part of a women's type chamber of commerce, go to Women Connect. They're in about 5 different states. We've hosted them twice at our club, and we're going to go be a sponsor at their annual live event on the 17th at the factories in Franklin. We have a meetup October 30th from 4 to 6. I think Bitcoin Ben will be here, but we definitely are going to have a Bitcoin 101 meetup, barbecue and Bitcoin. So we're super excited about that. There's so many things coming. Follow the Meetup app if you want, because I'm always going to post our events on the Meetup app in the different cities. We're on the Orangeville app, working on getting that nationwide for all of our clubs. So keep an eye on that. A lot of great partners that we get to work with. The whole point is spread the word, bring your neighbor, bring your family. Todd and I are happy to come, like he said, and speak for your church, for your investment. We're not investment financial advisors, but we'll come talk to anybody about Bitcoin absolutely. And tell you what we think and what we feel.
Yeah, totally. And we're not afraid to, look, we're not even afraid to talk to banks and stuff like that. So if there's any banks out there and you want some information, we'll be glad to talk to you and kind of tell you what we're doing and stuff. And who knows, I know Ed up in Leominster is trying to do a partnership with a bank up there as well. So, look, we're not against that. We're willing to help anybody, as long as it's helping people. So we're totally for that.
Yeah, we just don't want to see people to cancel and unbanked. Lena, thank you so much. She's here and she's right. Education in Bitcoin is crucial now more than ever. Yes, it is. And in our club members, we have club members from all over the world, from Netherlands.
Lena's one of them.
Yes. And in Philippines and El Salvador. You don't have to live in Nashville to be a member of the Nashville Club, or you can join any of our clubs. Again, go to bitcoinbend.io. We have 6 of them there. You can join right now and jump in. We have a class today at 12:30 Central. I don't even remember the name of today's class. I have to look it up.
It's an AMA, actually.
Oh, okay. So you could join the club really quick.
And ask us anything.
But it's an Ask Me Anything.
Yeah.
And our instructors have been in this space 12 and 13 years. And it's just really great. If there's some really complex questions, you can join the club and meet with one of our consultants. We've had people try to get stuff off of just different wallets and different chains and different bridges, all these things that are a lot. They're very hard to get your head around if you were just new in the space, but some people have been in it for a while. And also technology changes. And that's the other thing in Bitcoin. Some people have had stuff on wallets and those wallets don't service it anymore. Like, you do have to keep up with those things, but it's going to get easier and easier and easier. And the systems are going to get, like, just now it's easier to design a web page. Used to, you had to know how to code. Now you just got to go down and go, oh, I like that template, or I like that template, or go to Canva. So everything is going to keep getting easier. We'll be doing some interviews in the future. We're probably going to do a show on AI as well, because that's about to take over everything. And there's some things to be aware of with that. And this is great. Proud international member of the Nashville Club. Thank you, Lena.
Proud to have you. That's
we
awesome.
are so glad to have you.
Lena, I think Lena was actually our first international from Netherlands. That was our first international member. So appreciate that. Thanks for your faith in us. And we will see you on class today, I'm sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lena. We're so grateful. Like, we are here. We're excited. Every time we get to help somebody, we're excited. This week, we've had numerous walk-ins that we've sat down together and worked with and helped educate. And they've been so appreciative. And you think, if I can make that change in their life, and they can affect their children and their families and their communities, and people can start living a little freer and a little more lift, and go have that steak dinner. You've got a little bit more. You've bought Bitcoin. Life is getting cheaper on the Bitcoin standard. We just want to lift the burdens and bring freedom. We're God, freedom, and Bitcoin. And we love our nation. We want everyone to have financial freedom, freedom to worship. You know, we've seen a lot of bullies and a lot of things happen. And so these clubs are here. And in fact, our gentleman that came in that was 86, he's like, I can't talk to anyone about this. He's 86. And he knows all about it, and he didn't have anyone in his community to talk to. And we had the best time visiting with him.
He's sharp as a tack, and it's like, guys, when you think your elders don't know anything, he is still trying to learn stuff at 86 years old, and he's brilliant. And you can learn so much from your elders. I mean, we're not spring chickens, but we're not 86 years old either. So anytime you have an opportunity and you're around an older person, don't dismiss them, especially if you're younger, you're in your 20s or 30s. Listen to them, because they've seen a lot of life, and that they can give you advice that can be useful, so useful for you in the future. So don't ever diminish an older person, because they've lived a lot of life. They've seen a lot of life. They've been around a lot of things, seen a lot of history. So always take your elders seriously, and be yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Be respectful, because they have seen it and they've done it, and they could give you some information that can be useful for you in your future.
Absolutely. We're honored. We're honored when they come and join our club, and they come and spend time with us and share their wisdom from all those years. And Lena, she said she's not the last one from the Netherlands. I love it. We just want to help our communities, and maybe you need to have a Bitcoin and crypto club over there in the Netherlands.
I will come to that. I want to go see the Netherlands. I'm down with it.
And a branch for private key capital eventually.
Yes.
So thank y'all so much for joining us today. We're going to wrap up. We've got to hit it and get back to that class here shortly.
Guys, thank you so much. It was great seeing you today. Thanks for taking time to spend your day with us. And we look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you so much. Everyone, have a wonderful day, wonderful week. Stack Bitcoin, watch the news, keep up with what's going on, and we will see you soon.
Take care, guys.
Lot going on here at the club.
About possibility of generational wealth, and for your kids, grandkids, and their
And it's exciting because it gives us some financial hope.